Alright, time for the second level. So just want to say something up front. I do have all of the demos uploaded to my YouTube. If you want to check those out, they're already there. But now they have commentary. Alright, map 2. This one was so chill in like the mood, but unbelievably tense. So we got this arch file here. And if I remember correctly, I'm gonna try running away. I really never felt super comfortable. That's so weird, shooting 2 shots and then they both die on the second one, but neither on the first. This level ended up being kind of frustrating to play just because of its opening part being a little slow. And the second level does quite a good job of keeping a distinctive theme throughout the full map. This sort of jazzy, chill setup. And mind you, this is the first level in the set that is a little more representative of what we're going to see. The first level is not really exactly what we're going to see for the rest. What we're expecting are long, interconnected levels. Even though there's only about 500 monsters, sorry, 400, it's a long map. And we'll see how a relatively small enemy count translates into a long map. This fight might actually be where I died the most after the opening. Because it's so unpredictable with all the arch files. I mean, I guess you can kind of baby it like I'm doing here, but then you run into the problem that, well, arch files don't really like when you do that. And they revive everything. So eventually you gotta commit. I do that way more than I do it now. A little back and forthies. Oh, I am recording right now using the DSGA 26 playback, new version that was released recently. Not recently, but certainly within the last month or two. So it should be a little bit smoother. I know they did some optimization stuff. Although it does have the crosshair on, which I'm not going to move because I'm lazy. Oh, and I should talk about very obvious secret there for the key. So this map set usually has either the key or the entrance relatively in an obvious spot. It's finding both of them, maybe one is harder than the other, you know, any number of combinations. Map 4, both of them are tough. We'll get to that when we get to it. This map really does have a healthy ramp up to this beginning where... Oh, I always felt cheesy doing this, but I mean, I need the shells, so... Yeah, you want to get the Hell Knight down, but not the shotgunners, so he can revive the shotgunners over and over. Now notice how I can't believe I remember this. This was so long ago, and I still remember why I'm getting the Hell Knights all the way out before killing them. Because I think, you know, you can tell based on the way I'm talking about it, there's going to be an arch file. Is that a secret switch? I think so. I don't remember what that switch does, though. So this fight, I still don't have a strategy for it other than make use of the very tiny bit of cover to the left. I don't know, man. There's an Arachnotron really far away. And you kind of got to get lucky that he doesn't shoot at you. But thinking about it now, I probably would have an easier time with it. Because if you stand by the little cover for long enough, the Arachnotron will stop shooting. And you're probably good at that point. It's not like you need to use the cover and weave in and out of the other enemies. So what I should have done is just go to the cover for a second, Arachnotron loses focus, and then I carry on ignoring it for a little while. So this didn't need to be quite as hard as I made it out to be, because I thought this was one of the harder fights. But anyway, we're dropping down now. Beautiful area, by the way. Here's our first teal cyber. Only 1,000 health of the map. He's going to help us kill some Hell Knights. On occasion, I think I've had him die to the Hell Knights, but usually he wins. Or you get a perfect setup like that. Yeah, pretty obvious secret there, you know. Oh, I will say, Fractured Worlds marks a bit of a break in my gameplay. So you might notice me turning while doing SR50, and you might notice me, well, you wouldn't notice it, but I'm telling you, I'm being upfront about it. There's a lot of pause buffering, particularly in map 4, I think. Not in this map, I don't remember doing it here, but definitely in map 4. Or maybe it was 3. It was map 3, not 4. In map 4, that's where I made the switch. I stopped pause buffering, and I stopped turning while SR50. But this was kind of before, like, I knew the rules for sure, you know? The way I figured, okay, I'm on controller, and I'm playing on whatever I was playing on. It must have been Woof at the time. And it's letting me turn while doing SR50, so that must be fine. And what's wrong with pause buffering? But you're not allowed to do either of those. So, the turning while SR50, I mean, it's not like I'm speedrunning. It doesn't really make much of a difference in these levels. But the pause buffering, yeah, it's kind of how I got away with doing map 3's final fight on, like, the first try. But then I stopped doing it on map 4. So I'll point that out again. But I don't remember doing it much here, but I thought it was worth saying that. Anyway, this fight. It's interesting reusing this location, but in a totally different way. Because we have the Revenants up there, who make you want to not, you know, be in view of there. So it sort of locks down where you can go safely. And then with the Pain Elementals, you gotta focus on them. And you don't really have weapons super appropriate for Pain Elementals. And then here you gotta make a choice. Am I gonna shoot at the Archvile, or am I gonna spin around, give him the chance to hit me, but then I'll be closer to him. It'll be easier to get the kill. So yeah, starting on map 4, I took the pause button off the controller, or at least, you know, I unmapped it, right? I think the way I did it, I had the usual pause button mapped to the 180-degree turn, or the pi turn if you're cool. Although now, I'm kind of out of the habit of pausing too much, so I put it back, and the 180 turn isn't allowed anymore, so fair enough. That was a recent rule change. So this fight's really weird. My setup was just kind of run away if the cyber gets too close, but otherwise you really got to get that in fighting. There are far, far too many enemies for you to kill. Like, I've got 25 rockets here, and, you know, look for forces, right? And if I remember right, I had to do some crazy stuff to not die, essentially. Oh, those archviles, they don't, like, spawn in the center. It's because we're playing on Boom, and he just kind of got pushed off the platform. So now there's an archvile down here. And I gotta do some crazy movements. I don't really remember doing this type of movement all that much in other logs, where I'm sort of ducking into a cubby for just a moment and heading out and sort of chipping away at a vial. Because I don't really mind when he revives stuff, because I have the cyber to help me. Certainly an interesting fight, but I know it cost me more ammo than it should have, and I think we'll see that in the next fight. I do want to be upfront about what this, you know, little project is. You know, I did Fractured Worlds a while ago. I'm not going to remember everything, but it's just going to be cool to revisit the levels and finally commentary on it. And maybe we'll find some places where I remember something being really hard and I'll look at it now and it won't be, but I kind of doubt that. This map set is very difficult. Out of all the stuff I've beaten, this might be, as far as the median level goes, harder than anything else I've done. I'm choosing median for a reason, and that's because Flotsam might be the highest average just because of the first map. Oh, I feel the pain. 12 health, having to shotgun the vials. Well, hurts. And finally teleport up here. Get the beautiful items. Alright, this is what I wanted to watch, because I remember this going pretty well considering everything. So at this point, I know I don't have enough rockets, so I just need to get out. Oh, and the reason I went for that stim pack first was because, well, look at my health. I knew I needed it for the vial. They deal like 88-ish damage. I think the range is 84 to 88. I could be wrong. Oh, look at that Berserk still being there. Sweet. So at this point, this is not looking good. Archvile's reviving everything, and I don't know, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna try killing the vial? No, I kept going. Oh! You need the archvile for the archvile jump. I totally forgot. Okay, so you don't actually need the vial, but the alternative is a very, very precise SR50. So precise that you can find YouTube videos online of people like doing the setup, and it's just like the 10-second clip. I wasn't able to do it. I would try like hours at a time. I wasn't able to get this. I've done it maybe twice, and it just wasn't worth it. And that's why I needed to save that file. That's how hard that SR50 jump is. Maybe today I would have considered using the keyboard to do the jump, which obviously is more precise than using the controller sticks as far as setting up an SR50 goes. And maybe I would have been able to do it. Maybe I'll spend a couple minutes playing with it and see if I can do it on keyboard. Because, you know, as much as I prefer using controller, it's just like objectively, you get a better SR50 if you use keyboard, right? So maybe that would have helped. I'll put in the description if that makes a difference. I'll test it after. So now we're up to a fight that I literally never did the way that it was intended. Maybe I did once in practice, but I don't think so. So there are these 2 floors, and the enemies can teleport up with the red teleports, and you can teleport with the blue ones. Well, there's no real reason for you to teleport down, like you just walk. Also, beautiful design with like the Japanese architecture? I don't know. Now, I don't really like using my plasma, because we're going to get a BFG later, and I don't want to have to be perfect when I get it. I want to, when I get there, I just want it to be done. I want to spam BFG and be done with it. So we're being careful letting the enemies teleport up, because you know how Doom is with the infinite height shenanigans. You don't want to run into that sort of issue. So I'm just letting them come to me, make it a little easier on myself. And you can see a glimpse of purple out in the distance. That is the color of secret areas. Oh, I said in the last level, oh, map 2 has a little bit of purple outside of the secret area. Apparently that's not true. This is a red brush. You can see a little grass and it's red. But the purple you see, that's related to the secret exit. Or not exit, just a secret fight. So that wasn't true. It's consistent so far. Only purple where there's secrets. So you can actually see me practice the jump within the demo. You don't know how many times I died to this jump. And yeah, I guess you could see why. It's not as easy as it looks. It's a fairly small region, and you have to do it fast. Now, the reason you gotta do it quickly is because, well, I'm gonna cheese this fight. When you hit the switch, a lot of enemies show up, and what you're supposed to do, I don't even know. But what you can do is go along the edge. That would take you to the usual secret switch that you need the purple key for to open up the secret purple door that takes you to the secret purple fight. But instead of, you know, doing the fight, I'll just hide back there, let the cyber demons kill everything, and then hope they don't kill me on my way out of the little corridor. Oh, and he did it pretty well. There's a bit of an anti-cheese. So you can't hit that switch and then just run out into the secret area. I'm pretty sure that door is going to close when I hit the fight switch. So we should be able to see on the way down. It'll close. And then it'll open back up. Like, that's a really well done detail. Oh, and a lot of times the cybers shot me in the back as I went down here. Yeah, it's tough. If you go too slowly, you get infinite heighted. It's rough. Alright. Now we're going to chill here for a little while. And kind of do our best to make the enemies kill each other. But you know how that is. Sometimes they're, you know, the soul isn't willing. Now, the main thing really is just to not let the cybers kill you. I know that sounds stupid, but Everyone else, I'm willing to tank a little bit of that. Like, I probably sit here for a while, so I might speed it up a little bit. Yeah, oh, they can melee you. Remember, enemies don't factor in height to melee attacks. You do. Doom Guy does, because his is a hit scan, and hit scan has an angle limit, but, you know, the enemies don't, because they just have a how close are you, and distance is only measured on the lateral axes. So first we need the Cyber Demon to clear out all the vials, and we need enough cybers to not be on the left, so I can sort of squirm my way out of here. And then hopefully I don't get smashed on the way out. Even though normally you could run past a Cyber Demon, it's no big deal. If there are multiple lined up, the farther one can shoot at you, and it'll shoot the closer cyber, and then you get hit by the splash. This is so stupid. But, you know, this is the way I figured it out. Ah, finally, we run out. Okay, cool. Now, honestly, I think I left too early. I'm still taking a lot of damage. And we finally have the other ID hole. So if you've hit the switch already, this opens up after some time after you do the fight switch. I don't know if I was totally clear on the first map. Every level has a purple key, which opens a purple door, which has a purple fight, which is totally optional. So this fight is actually quite a while away from that other room. It's a boom teleport. And that means that enemies are going to move away from where I was, which makes returning there a little bit easier. This also changes. If you get the BFG first, this fight is almost impossible. So don't get the BFG. It's case by case, really. Pretend they're always shooting at you. That's how you gotta behave when they're behind. I went in the corner way too early. I needed to be a little braver and fight them outside first. But now it's like, oh wait, I went here way too early. Now I'm sort of trapped. And obviously the price of that is going to be a mixture of health and plasma. Yeah, not looking good. But we managed. Oh, that was scary. I thought I was gonna fail at that point. So it wasn't scary. I thought I was just done. So I'd sort of resigned myself to it being over. I thought it was over. But it wasn't. So I just decided to play it out. I was like, all right, let's see how I end up failing here. And we made it out. So it was nice. So yeah, I'll reiterate, if you get the BFG, this fight is a lot harder. And that goes for a few of the secret fights. Not this one though. Sorry, obviously this one, I'm talking about this one. Not the first one, and I'll point them out as I go. But this one is the biggest difference. I was really only able to do it like one time. It's a lot tougher with the BFG. There are like 4 or 5 mini cybers and then 1 regular cyber. It's ridiculous. So as you can see, all the enemies are all the way back there. And that's because when you take the teleporter to the other area, I wonder if I could show it. I think it's the area all the way on the bottom right. So the enemies went towards the right. I don't know why it was babying it here. Oh, because there's a cyber demon. But okay, I'll speed it up. I remember taking this, like, embarrassingly slowly. I do remember feeling justified in taking it slowly when I took a lot of damage. I forget why. I think it's the cyber. I think the cyber is gonna hit me, and then I'll feel stupid. I guess deservedly so. Yeah, like, what in the world am I doing here? What is that? Alright, come on. Please. Please, don't get hit by the cyber demon. I'm begging you. Oh, all of the gameplay stuff is unmodified, except, of course, for the special cybers. Everything else is exactly as you would expect if you play, you know, Doom. Alright, moving on to one of the more creative fights, in my opinion. That's not really to kill them, just to get their attention. Oh boy. So yeah, if you fall, you die. This is a really interesting fight. So you gotta kill this mini cyber. And I tried going slowly, so there are fewer times I need to turn around. And then when you get here, oh man, I was a genius back then. Nah. It was probably from Casino where I learned this. Lost souls can't go through items, so leave a couple boxes of rockets, stand behind them, so the lost souls can't run into you. Therefore, you're able to use rockets in the room where you're expected to use plasma, so you can save a lot of plasma. And if I'm remembering the rest of the map, that's pretty much it in terms of using rockets, short of, like, maybe finishing off some bars. So yeah, we should be good. I will say this platforming is pretty easy. The only thing you need to be aware of is when you fight that cyber demon, you have so little space. But I think he's locked into a smaller circle than you, because he never seems to really approach me. Alright, this next area, I kind of wish that I'd practiced it more. I like having the extra room to avoid the mega armor. And it is cool we get to circle back to an area that we were already in. Yeah, it's interesting. All of these maps are linear, like you have to do them in the same order. Except, of course, the secret fight, a lot of times you can circle back to it with the BFG. And sometimes that makes it harder. But they're all interconnected nonetheless. And, you know, that's just a cool thing. It means you get to reuse areas as a map maker, and as a player, you can see it again. I still never understand what's going on with that bug where the fire didn't spawn in the right spot. I think it has something to do with leaving on the first frame that the flame shows up, but honestly, I don't know. I didn't practice that room enough, but not too bad. Just spend a lot of rockets. Alright, now we're up to the part that I might use in the screenshot, though I might use this outside area because it's prettier. So we've got that little cubby, we've got these two cybers behind us, a lot of enemies up front, a lot of barons to the side, and I think 10 basic cybers, not basic, small cybers behind them. So goal number 1 is to get this cubby safe. Now what I remember doing is just trying out like every combination of movements, and this is the one that worked. Like that little turnaround before hitting the switch, that helped so much. So this was like not me reacting, this was just like hours of testing the room, and that was the movement that worked out. I don't know what I was doing with that Baron. Why didn't I just plasma him? Instead I'm like, yeah, I gotta run up to him. Alright, gotta be ready to do a screenshot. It was fun to watch. It was so tense. So if they get too close, they teleport back. If there's space. There's a screenshot. I might do it on the outer area with the trees, though. We'll see. You'll know. So this isn't me trying to save ammo. Well, obviously it is. I don't want to use plasma. But also, and I do this in map 5, it's kind of scary to shoot plasma at a group of cyber demons because it blocks your vision, and it also makes it harder to hear. So using the shotgun saves ammo, doesn't block your vision. Great. That was amazing. Like that fight is so ridiculous. I died a lot in this room. And it wasn't even like, oh, this is a hard part, I gotta be ready. It was like so hard, I was sort of expecting to fail it every time. Which, well, I guess that's fair, because if my memory serves me right, this is the only time I got through that room. So, yeah. It must have been like super tense at this point. Lots of arch files. I had a bit of a pattern. You do 2, hit the doors like that, and then you do like a side one there. So 1, 2. Well, obviously if there's room, there's room. And then we can run away to this area. This is where I should have used rockets, right? No, this is where I used rockets and it was a bad idea. Yeah, I'm misplaying it. They're not close enough for me to be shooting that fast when I'm at this far away location. But alright, we're almost done. We have 1 more challenge. There are going to be lots of chain gunners by the side door. And 4 mini cybers. Now, I'd practiced this a lot, and I'd practiced doing it right. But then I get here, I'm panicking, you know? So I'm just like spamming, hiding in the corner. Like the way I'd practiced it, I would fail most of the time and not get the perfect hits. And then 1 time out of 100, I'd get the perfect shots. But here, I'm freaking out, I'm going in the corner, I'm running out of ammo. Literally the last bit of plasma I had to kill the last enemy. Oh, these maps are so stressful. They're really bad for YouTube too, because the maps are way too long. Alright, I think that's, yeah, that's it. Cool map, nice music, super chill, looks cool, very scary fights. Alright,